you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Christine Campbell-Rappin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, everybody, to Amplify Your Marketing Message. Today, this is a love letter to all my fellow introverts. I want to show you how to build a beautifully successful business without losing yourself and embracing all of your strengths as an introvert to stand out in a very crowded marketplace. I think one of the things that surprises many people who discover me here on a podcast or on one of my events or in a networking space, that by nature, I am not an extrovert. Surprised, aren't you? The truth is that I am an introvert. I have simply chosen to play to my strengths and to recognize where I must build skills of a learned extrovert in order to hit the outcomes and see a return on my energy spend that is worth it to me. In business, this is not often shared as loudly as I share it, but here's the truth. You've got to build a business that feels like oxygen, which means you get to do business the way you want to show up as a human being. And in a world that is craving authenticity and wanting to have trust reestablished, you doing you in a way that serves you in the pursuit of serving others is the key. It's just integrity to stand in it. And a lot of people who are introverts think that introverts can't win in the world of business. Well, not after today's episode. You won't feel that way. I think some of the best salespeople I know are introverts. A job, a skill set that many think extroverts gravitate to. Well, truthfully, it's not the loudest in the room who wins. You can be quiet, competent, capable, and an introvert and be absolutely viewed as the must-hire. And that just because you are quiet, reflective, and observant, that you need to be shy and invisible. I want you to step into a quiet strength that plays to the strengths of an introvert. Specifically today, I want to take you through 5 ways to do that because I want to see you win. I want to see you build a business that feels like oxygen. And I want you to have the conviction, commitment to doing business the way you want to do business. And yes, that means that you will flex out of your natural skills to achieve an outcome. Because truthfully, you have decided it's worth it. Because as an introvert, I will tell you, you cannot convince me, berate me, yell at me, and be louder than me and try to get me to move. My quiet certainty knows I can outweigh you. So here it is. First things I want you to do is to play to your strengths. And yes, there are a lot of great strengths as an introvert. An extrovert and an introvert are equal, my friends. It's not that one is better than the other and the other is worse off. Nope, we are equal. And the world needs both. And your clients will be both. And you as a business owner, smart, savvy, successful business owner, will flex your style to get the biggest result because it is worth it to you, because it's a result you desire. But the strength of an introvert is their ability to listen and to observe. As a listener, I have great skills at pulling together the connecting dots, both what is spoken and what is unspoken. And I can distill that observation to my advantage. And so I want you to know that the observation skills are one of the most important skills we have, especially in the digital age. Because when you are working in the AI world or ChatGPT and you're reliant on tools that are AI, you are feeding it specific questions. But what it is not able to do is all the other subtle languages. It listens in only one direction. You, as an introvert, are listening in a multitude of directions with all of your senses at the table. Hugely important and highly valued by your next buyer, because they cannot see their blind spots to someone who is only one directional. You open the invitation to bidirectional communication by being a listener and using all of your skills to excel. The second thing is that because an introvert doesn't speak for the sake of speaking, when they do choose intentionally to contribute, they do it for a reason. And it has more weight, more value, and casts a bigger ripple because it is rarer than maybe an extrovert plays. So use your voice strategically. It will create bigger ripples, and it shows your level of caring to push yourself past your comfort to contribute with an intentional element. And you're mindful of what's being received on the other end, because you're caring not about you and your voice, but the reception and the influence that's happening on the other side of the communication channel. The third thing is that as a person who's a listener and an observer, is that you often like to process on your own. Some of us, and many of us, do that in a written format. We journal, we ponder, we write letters, we do old school, slow the brain down, pen to paper, distill, reflect, edit, and find our certainty through a process. And as a result of that, when we get through that processing step in the puzzle, we have high quality, well thought through communication to share. And so I will invite you to know that you may never want to take a big stage. It is important that you learn to communicate, and written language is still hugely important. Use your own voice, share your own ideas, and play to your strengths. The fourth is that right now in the world, there is a trust deficit. It's so easy to artificially create something that we're craving authenticity. We polish something, we skim it, we aggregate it, and the AI world is just only making this worse. You don't have to dominate loud, excessive groups of people in order to win in the world of business. In fact, what I think more and more people are seeking and certainly willing to pay a premium for is access to intimacy. I know that because my business reflects that. I have clients that pay specifically to be in small groups, and I don't run any programs that are big groups in nature. If you want to come to an event with mine, it is small, it is effective, it is where dialogue happens person to person. Those are hallmarks of my business. And so I want you to play to your strength of one-to-one dialogue or one to a few people dialogue. This intimacy is a competitive advantage. And we all know, us introverts, it is easier to be in a room of one or two or three than it is to be in a room of hundreds. And yet the people in the room of hundreds really want to be in the room of the elite, the room of few. And you can build a beautifully successful business that is highly profitable, feels like oxygen, and is boutique in nature. Most of my clients are serving less than 50 clients a year because they're doing it intimately. They're hands-on in terms of access, supported by infrastructure, deliverables, and sometimes teams. But what matters is that you always have my phone number. What matters is you can always contact me, matters is I'm a real person, and everything I put out into the world is unvarnished and not polished to the inch of its life. And so people know that, because what I know in my business is I curate one-to-one and one-to-few opportunities, because I'm 100% certain in the business I hold at Clear Acceleration Inc. is that you didn't get out of bed to hire me today. But if I can create experiences that are intimate, you'll start to hear something, want to dialogue around something, and have appropriate support each other by holding hands, being at the same side of the table, and sharing a common vision we are seeking to achieve together. So let me give you a hall pass, my friends. You don't have to build a volume business. You can build an intimate business, a boutique business fueled by high contact, high standards, and high deliverables. The fifth and final piece that is a strength for an introvert to win in the marketplace today is that we like to be prepared. I think the thing that makes me break out in hives is throwing me into the deep end. I've learned a lot of skills to swim well upstream, but I always want to be prepared. I have always given thought to the landscape I expect myself to be in. I've given thought to the possible consequences, and I've done a lot of preparation to get there, to look spontaneous, to look extroverted, and to own and hold space for others. But it comes from what's done before you see it live. And so I want you to step into that preparation, to show that you care by preparing and understanding the landscape first. Because when you do that, your quality standard is so much higher. Your strategic insight is valued. And it is so important in the digital space to be human and to have an opinion. And for us introverts, in order for us to form an opinion, we need to listen, reflect, write, talk to someone person to person, and form our opinion before we share it. I want you to know, if you're an introverted business owner, you might just have given yourself permission to exceed expectations. You can learn the skills of intentional extroverted behavior, and I would invite you and highly encourage you to do that. But it doesn't mean you change your spots. It doesn't mean that you still don't have all of the natural first preference choices of how you show up in the day. I know that being visible matters in my business. So I choose to be visible by playing to my strengths. I am all about finding patterns. I am all about thoughtfully, intentionally sharing, not to entertain, but to make influence. And influence because I have something to say that I've thought through, is high quality, and I want to see a person, eyeball to eyeball, take action. After I have taken those steps, you can 100% believe that I will unplug and take off that coat of enhanced behavior and spend time recharging. Spend time reflecting so that I get clear on the outcomes, because at the end of the day, this is a certain truth. You need to do what is required to get what you want, and you will only take those necessary actions when it makes sense to you that it was worth it, that you've given meaning to those choices. So what choice will you make from today? I want you to remind yourself that not everybody's an extrovert. Not everybody is seeking an extrovert. And you bring a lot of incredible strengths to the table. Play them. Utilize them. Leverage them. And celebrate them. And if you are looking for somebody who just see you, eyeball to eyeball, to build a business that feels like oxygen, in a way that's in alignment with you, I want to invite you to come discover and have a conversation one-to-one with me. And you can do that at ChristineCampbellRappin.com. I help people, all walks of people, extroverts and introverts, build a beautifully boring, stable, successful business that can thrive in any economy because they have certainty how they play the game, who their next client is, and what makes them a must hire because they're playing to their strengths. So come find me, ChristineCampbellRappin.com, and I will see you all on our next episode. We'll see you then. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell-Rappin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRappin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.